This video is going to be in continuation of the Windows subsystem for Linux using Kali Linux operating system. In the first portion of it, I showed you a lot of Python related programming, Node.js, and maybe Jupyter-Lab, and a lot of other stuff with programming with Kali Linux, as well as the operating system itself. We also wanted to show you the command line to how to uninstall it and reinstall it. The uninstall portion succeeded in the installation. Afterward, it needed to be just rebooted the machine because of the registry of Microsoft. And then as a result of that one, I wasn't able to complete the entire video in one session, and I told you that, well, it requires the Windows subsystems -- set default version to be set to 1, reboot your machine, and then just get it done afterward with these enable Windows option features, which I had done, but it required the reboot. And so, and due to the nature of WSL being still in development, Microsoft also has some solution on this one, which I found out here on this page, that under answers.microsoft.com, it says that whenever you get WSL registry distribution failed with this one, basically this is the error that we were getting. And then it tells you that, yeah, you can just go set up these option on the services, and then just change the hotkey there. But each one of them, even though you use the regedit editor to modify the value from setting it, which we did it from the command line, those options still require reboot the machine. So that I did it in the PowerShell, and I did on the set features option, and then that would have still required reboot. That's why those registry information requires a reboot. And then right here it says wait for the PC to reboot there. So now we have rebooted the machine. Let's see if now we're succeeding or not. So the way you do it is open a terminal here. The registry default is, all those set default version is set already. So I'm going to say system info slash pipe find let's say find the string /I, and I'm going to just look for the boot to see when was the system last booted. This one, you can see 11/29, which is today, 11/29. So 4:47, about a couple of minutes or 10 minutes ago, I rebooted the machine. Now I'm back making the second part of this video, and I hope I can just still just make this thing working for you, even though it might be something that is not at our hand, but it is good to show you these kind of problems. So if you see that error and that registry information, that I actually had to save it into this information, and this was the URL that I went there. So this information is now, it's on the Microsoft forum as information that is already reported as bug. But the solution is a reboot after you set that default registry to value 1. And since I rebooted it now, I'm going to do WSL-L to see what is a list of available here. Since that one is not available here, I'm going to say WSL-install and then distribution name Kali Linux. This should go ahead and install it, and then it should not fail at the registry level this time. If it does, then Microsoft forum is telling you after the reboot that is a bug still. But now that should work, because if Microsoft publish it saying that you should reboot your system after you set those settings, when we did it, it should work now. Let's see. And we're just crossing our fingers and waiting for this one to install successfully. Then we can configure it with additional features to run the desktop and then run the installation. Wow, that is still failed with that W registry. So at this time, my hands are tight with the only option from this one to say, go ahead, do it. We already did it from this option. I'm gonna do the registry editorial with Win+R and type in regedit and then just go to this value. And then, but the system says it requires a reboot. So I'm not gonna reboot again if it does have to be done that way. And then this is the feature that we already set it up from option online feature earlier with the subsystem. And if you just go here with the features, just type in feature, you could also see the options under this one is both the subsystem is Windows PowerShell. Windows subsystem is already checked here. And also the what is it? Virtual machine should be right here. Virtual machine platform. That's also enabled. But I'm going to try the control this Win+R. And then after that, I'm going to say regedit. And then this will just say open it as administrator. And then now search for the string that we want to search for. So let's search for this one, copy, and then under regedit, under edit search, look for find, and then we search for this, and then see if the value is 2 or 1. Set the value data to 2. It should say set to 2. Apparently, looks like even though we did it with the option 1, we want to just change it to 2 because the reboot was done when we changed it to 1. Some documentation says that you have to do it to 1 earlier. The other documentation and this one it says that set it to 2. Let me just make sure I read it correctly. It says that on the right pan, locate the start and set the value data to 2. Yeah, set the data value to 2. Wow, it's searching forever. Okay, I'm gonna right click here to see if there's the first one that it find out to see what is the value of it. That's not the value. So let's search for that with register. See if that one is. Sometimes these values are registry editorial and then the data value. Let's see. If I find. I should find it, the one that we want to do it on the. Okay, I'm gonna go navigate to this one rather than finding it that way, so it is forever. The search, the find should have find the value, so I'm gonna go to computers first. Let's make sure that I start the registry with administrator first. So you control R here and then say regedit. Lowercase or uppercase doesn't matter. It's Windows is not case sensitive. It says user account. I'm gonna say go ahead, open it, and then go to. Let me see what it is. Hotkey local machine system current control services and this and that. So let's just. Okay, so based on the Microsoft documentation, it says go to hotkey local machine system, current control set services, and then find out LX SS manager, and then click on the start and set the value to 2. And then when I went there on this registry, you can see the start, the value is set to 3. I'm going to change it to 2 here. Why this changed to 3? I'm not sure. Maybe that's causing the problem. So now the value is 2. You can see if I double click on it, the value is showing 2. And unfortunately, it requires another reboot for it to just take effect, because this is registry information, but I'm going to try without the reboot first. And then if it does require a reboot, I may have no other options but to reboot. So that information is updated here with the registry, so I could close the registry here and say, okay, we're done with this one file, and then exit. Let's see if I go back here and then run the same command here. See if at this time it is finding the value 2, which was that option that we set to set -- default to 2. And after this one, if it is still an issue, obviously I could set the command line with that set -- default version 2 and then reboot it. But let's see what this time, since we modified the registry, does it require reboot or not? Yeah, it looks like it is still required reboot. So I'm gonna try this -- set default as a version 2. And then this one says the operation completed successfully. And then I'm going to also go to registry editorial to see if I could just get that value again. So I'm gonna go to, which is already open here. That's a good thing, I don't have to search for it, and then double click here. I think the value is already 2. Yeah, that is already 2, so that is good. And right here you can see it's 2. So that is set, but apparently it requires a reboot, and I'm not gonna reboot till I know for sure that it requires a reboot. Let's do this one again, WSL install, and it is opening it. If it does fail here after, and then I have to, yeah, looks like I have to pause the video again. So I'm going to just do that step again, Control C out of it, and then and this thing I'm going to stop recording, and then we make another part of it. So this video, if I post it on the site again with the same content, it will help you troubleshoot it. So I went through that trouble, you don't have to. So that's why I'm making this one to help you guys out. Take care.